Hello, my name is Daniel Ridgway, and for my ESE interview, I interviewed my dad, Daniel Ridgway Sr. Daniel Ridgway Sr. is the manager of human resources at a small accounting and professional services firm called Selden Fox, located in suburban Chicago. This firm has about 70 people and was founded back in 1978, and they include services from auditing, tax and accounting, consulting, as well as wealth and estate planning. Their main competitors aren't only other small professional services companies in the area, but they're also large professional services companies such as KPMG and Deloitte, who are also trying to win over the businesses of companies looking for the tax, accounting, and consulting services as well. Although they are competing with both large and small professional services companies, they are most closely related to and competing with the smaller firms, as they are not able to compete in terms of size with those larger firms. So they're more focused on winning jobs away from the smaller professional services firms out there just like themselves. Their only office is in Oak Brook, Illinois, which is about 30 minutes outside of Chicago. And so they're not international, and they focus mainly with clients in the Midwestern region. My dad, Dan, has been involved in strategic meetings across the company, ranging from acquisitions to making strategic decisions about hiring consultants to start their consulting services firm or their consulting services branch of their firm about 15 years ago. So he has been involved with the company for 20 years and has done things from acquisitions to hiring staff that need to be hired in order to grow and expand the firm. The first interesting point that I want to bring up in this that I learned from the conversation I had with him was how competition impacts business activities, both positive and negatively, in that sector of professional services. So when I asked him how competition has impacted it, the first thing he brought up was price. So we learned in this class that price wars and bidding wars are not always a good thing, and that they can be detrimental to the market as a whole. Well, we touched on that from a more of like a single product standpoint. From this point of view, with professional services, whether it's consulting, accounting, when a firm needs help, they will talk to a bunch of other professional services firms, and they will tell them what they need, and then those professional services firms, such as Selden Fox, will create a quote for them and tell them this is how much we will charge for us to help you out with your business, whether that be consulting, whether that be doing your accounting, whether that be like benefits and stuff like that. And then that company that needs the help will likely go with either the cheapest option or the best deal for them, someone who can provide the most services for the lowest price. So in this industry, bidding wars break out for a couple of reasons. One, and the first reason is when you bid a company and you win that business, you not only are winning that business for what they need help with now, but you're winning that business for likely anything that they need help with down the line in the future. So you can afford to come in at kind of a low price that maybe isn't making you the profit you need to now. Because down the road, if you do a good job, that company that you're helping now with consulting or accounting is going to come back to you for whatever they need help with in the future if you do a good job. So you can afford to come in at a lower price, because if you do a good job with that company, they're going to come back to you and create more business for you in the long run. And then not all services and products or service and products are not the same. So I briefly touched on this earlier, but we focused on this problem of price wars and how they're negative, mainly from a product standpoint, where like at Target and Walmart, those products like a box of cereal, for example, are the exact same no matter where you get it. In the services industry, such as with like a consulting and tax and accounting, not every firm is going to provide the exact same service. So they can charge different prices based on what they provide, how many hours they would give to you, and how focused they'd be on your company as opposed to other clients as well. So for that reason, bidding wars kind of work in this industry where they may not work in the products industry like we discussed in class. The second interesting point that I want to bring up is the importance of synergies and acquisitions. So as I touched on earlier, I mentioned that he's been a part of meetings for acquisitions of other small, very small professional services firms of about 15, 20 people. And over time, some have worked out well and some haven't worked out the best. So what he pointed out was that when you are looking for synergies, it's not only the business fit that you're looking at, but you're also looking at how are the people going to fit? How are your current employees going to mesh with the new employees that they're going to have to work with from this new company? And how are those new employees going to fit into the existing culture and the employees that you already have at your company? So when Selden Fox you mentioned when Selden Fox did their last acquisition, that one went well because the people were a good fit. Everyone got along and people were able to come together and kind of compromise with processes and stuff like that. Whereas in the past, there have been some where people weren't willing to change, and therefore the acquisition, although it looked good on paper from a business needs standpoint, it fit well business-wise, the people didn't fit. And you have to make sure that those two, business fit and people fit, work in order for a successful acquisition. On the graphic sheet I gave you, there's a Venn diagram that has business fit, people fit, and in the middle is successful acquisition. So this experience helped to show me that there are many parts that make up strategic decisions more than just what you see on the surface level. I think in this class we focused more so on, in terms of acquisitions, these businesses are a great business fit. They have a clientele that this company is trying to reach. So if we merge with them, it'll be perfect. Well, it's not necessarily that easy, as you need the people to fit as well in order to benefit from that acquisition. The second thing that this experience showed me was a successful business not only builds on their strengths and maximizes those, but they minimize their weaknesses as well. So every company is going to have strengths and weaknesses. And if you can maximize your strengths and expose those, while minimizing your weaknesses, because those are inevitable as well, that those companies will be best set up for success. And then the two things that I felt most important to share with you guys are what may be a poor strategic move in one industry or sector of the market may not be, or may be a good move in another sector. Like I mentioned in the products field, like with the box of cereal from Target and Walmart, price wars are awful for that kind of market. But in the professional services industry with consulting, accounting, and wealth planning, bidding wars and price wars do break out, and it's just part of the market. It has been for a while, and it probably always will be from here on out. And then the second thing was that decisions affect a lot more people than you think on the surface level. Being in HR, my dad mentioned that when you're making a strategic decision, you have to think, okay, how is this going to affect every single stakeholder involved? And because these people are depending on the company for paychecks and stuff like that. So you need to figure out how will it affect each and every person involved, not just the people that are most directly affected. Thank you.